Hello everyone. I am back. This time we are looking at a follow-up on a game that I previously covered, Rosemary's Fate. Today we're looking at the conclusion of the series called Detective Malinowski. I'm probably butchering the name, but yeah, there it is. So, the style of gameplay for this title is a little bit different. You still move around, you still interact, but this game is described as being a visual audio noir. So, let's quickly have a look at the options, and then we'll jump in.
Continue. New game. Options. Quit. Options. Volume.
So we have a few less options with this title. I would recommend you turn on reader, otherwise you're not going to have reading text-to-speech reading English.
Read texts on. Volume.
English subtitles.
And then you have English subtitles.
Polskie napisy. English subtitles.
Because this game unfortunately does not have English dubbing. So let's do a couple of gameplay. And then I will give my commentary afterwards.
Restore default settings. Back. Continue. New game.
Hello, can you hear me? This is my final broadcast. German units just rolled into Owinska today. The Reichsockeltechraf are breathing down my neck. I'm ordering an evacuation of the 20th. Every story's gotta have a start. So, I'm gonna kick this one off at a specific point. Yeah, my mind seriously needs an anchor to piece together what happened to me into something logical, even if it's all just illusions. Cause there never was a beginning, and maybe the start is still to come. Every time I try to frame the events into a coherent narrative, it just spirals into infinity or nothingness. The Ouroboros, the snake eating its own tail, is gonna haunt me till the end. The end of what? If there's no beginning, there's no end. It's enough to drive you nuts. Anyway, I'll start the story with that November morning, when I was finishing my coffee on the Sopot beach. I closed the case, had the day off, and decided to just wander around by the sea. And then... the special line? You gotta be kidding me. Hello. This is Commissioner Grad.
Tu komisarz Grad.
Authorization code 66717. Verify yourself, please.
Proszę się zweryfikować.
323-232. Detective Malinowski. Detective. Code confirmed. I don't quite understand. Just follow the instructions you got, Commissioner. I'll explain what I can when we meet up. Understood. In that case, here's the address, Owinska, Pierzamysław Square 9. Confirmed. See you there.
Łopińska. To mnie
Well, that
zaskoczyło.
caught me off guard.
Jeden z
One of the
ciekawszych
more interesting
przypadków.
cases. Except it's been inactive for 80 years. All the threads were violently cut in 1939. What the hell could have surfaced there?
Co tam mogło wypłynąć?
Department
Wydział
20.
20, zapis
That's
łaciński
XX in Roman
XX.
numerals.
O jednej
It's
z
got
więcej
one X
niż
more than
znanych
those famous
seriali
TV
archiwum.
files, and
O
one X
jednej
less than
z
that
mniej
well-known
niż
action
serii
movie
znanych
series.
filmów akcji.
It's an
Zależna
independent,
tajna
secret
jednostka
unit formed in the
sformowana w latach
1920s.
20. ubiegłego
Its
wieku.
purpose, investigating
Przeznaczenie:
supernatural phenomena.
badanie spraw nadnaturalnych.
My name is Ernest
Nazywam się
Malinowski.
Ernest Malinowski.
If the name rings a
Jeśli
bell,
imię obiło
then
się
yes,
wam o uszy,
it's
to
true.
potwierdzam.
I was named
Z
after the
racji
famous
nazwiska
engineer
nadano mi je po
because of the
słynnym
family name.
inżynierze.
But contrary to my father's ambitions, I chose a different path.
Dzięki
Thanks to
pewnemu
a certain
zdarzeniu z
childhood incident,
dzieciństwa
I ended up in
trafiłem do
Department
Wydziału
XX,
20, gdzie
where I
badano
investigate
doniesienia o
reports of
UFO i
UFOs and
nawiedzonych
haunted
zamkach.
castles.
Tak,
Yeah,
widzę
I can see
uśmieszek
that
na
smirk
twojej
on your
twarzy.
face. I react the same way to 99% of the reports that land on my desk. And trust me, our preliminary filters for sensational claims are even more sensitive. But when I hear the name Owinska come from a local police commissioner, a signal starts to pierce through the noise.
Z szumu wyłania się sygnał.
Before the war, there was a psychiatric hospital in Owinska. Our man there, Dr. Robert Drucki, investigated the abilities of a specific little girl and prepared an incredibly valuable report, Interfering Beings.
Interferujące byty.
Unfortunately, the Germans had just invaded Poland, and the document never reached the department, which had to go underground. Luckily, for some reason, the Nazis didn't manage to seize the report either. How do I know that? If they had, they'd be running the world today. I got to Owinska around 2 p.m. I left my motorcycle in the square of the Baroque complex. The dome church and the monastery were built back in the Middle Ages, then refurbished around the 18th century, give or take. Both buildings had turrets. 3 tenements closed off the square, one on the left and 2 on the right. There were puddles everywhere, broken branches, a few down trees, smashed windows, and tons of other signs of a violent storm. The commissioner was standing in front of the church doors. Press space to hear help.
Usłyszeć pomoc.
So you do have a bit more scene description. If I press space.
The post-monastery buildings. Smashed windows in a couple of spots. Probably from branches ripped off by the windstorm.
So you definitely have a bit more scene description. Difficulty in this game is non-selectable. But that's okay because of the style of gameplay I see.
Detective Malinowski? Commissioner Grad. Now we can talk. Yeah, I was told not to pass along any information over the phone. Follow me, please.
Proszę za mną.
What happened here? All this damage just from a draft? The bell broke loose in the tower and crashed onto the stairs. The rubble damaged the door, and the wind pressure did the rest. Let's go up to the gallery. I'm warning you, it won't be a pleasant sight.
Ostrzegam, że widok nie będzie należał do przyjemnych.
Did anyone get hurt during the storm?
Niestety
Unfortunately,
sytuacja jest
the situation is more serious than that.
Sam pan zobaczy.
You'll see for yourself.
So to move, you press either the arrow keys or W, A, S, and B. And if you get confused by the music you need to follow, you can press space to find it as well.
Podążaj
Follow
za
the music.
muzyką.
Classic
Klasyczne
Baroque interior.
barokowe wnętrze.
Paintings,
Obrazy,
sculptures, a richly
rzeźby,
decorated altar.
bogato
The wind
zdobiona
knocked over the
ołtarz.
lighter objects.
Wiatr przewrócił lżejsze przedmioty. Obok
A man's
organów
body was
leżało
lying next to
ciało
the organ.
mężczyzny,
Bent sideways,
zgięty w bok,
partially leaning
częściowo
against the
oparty
wall.
o ścianę.
He was undoubtedly
Bez
killed by a
wątpienia
bullet,
zginął od
likely
kuli,
during a struggle.
prawdopodobnie w trakcie szarpaniny.
Something
jeszcze
else caught my
zwróciło
eye,
moją uwagę.
delicate streaks, as if something had
Delikatne smugi,
exploded,
jakby coś
covering part of the
wybuchło,
organ, the
pokrywając
floor, and the
część
wall with
organów,
soot.
podłogi i
The
ściany
soot faded as it
sadzą,
got further from the
biegnącą wraz z
epicenter.
odległością od epicentrum. Gdy
Yet,
jednak
when I
przytknąłem
pressed my
palec
finger
do
against the
powierzchni,
surface, I
nie
couldn't feel
wyczułem
any
żadnej
physical
fizycznej
substance.
substancji.
That's Mark Kowalski, a library worker, 25 years old.
25 lat.
Yesterday,
Wczoraj
him,
on,
his girlfriend
jego
Elin May,
dziewczyna
and two
Elena
Americans, a certain
May
Mary Gale
i
and
dwóch Amerykanów,
Thomas Ferretti,
niejaka
met in the
Mary
monastery
Gale
library.
I Thomas Ferretti spotkali się w bibliotece klasztornej.
Soon after,
Wkrótce
the storm of
zerwała
the
się
century
burza
broke out.
stulecia.
The whole district is
W
still
całym
without power,
powiecie do teraz
and there's
nie
no
ma
telling when
prądu
they'll fix the
I
damage.
nie wiadomo, kiedy naprawią uszkodzenia.
Gdzie
Where
jest
are Elin and the
Elena,
Americans?
Amerykanie?
O, tutaj
That's our
mamy
next
kolejny problem.
Elin is unconscious in a
Elena
nearby hospital,
leży
and Mary
nieprzytomna
and
w
Thomas have
pobliskim
vanished without a
szpitalu,
trace.
a po Mary i Tomasie ślad zaginął.
Podejrzewacie ich o...
You suspect them of. We're
Na
not assuming
razie
anything yet.
Nic jeszcze nie
There are more
zakładamy.
mysteries. Our
Zagadek
ballistics
jest
expert is
więcej.
interested in the weapon.
Nasz balistyk interesuje się bronią. Po
After
analizie
analyzing the
ustki,
casing, the bullet,
kuli
and the
i
wound,
rany,
he concluded that it
doszedł
was
do
most likely
wniosku, że
fired from a Luger P-08.
najprawdopodobniej strzelano
Someone
z
clearly kept the
Lugera
souvenir from the Second War.
P-08. No, ktoś najwyraźniej przechował pamiątkę po II wojnie. Ale
But the most
najciekawsze
interesting part is still
dopiero
ahead.
przed nami.
Shortly after taking
Wkrótce
fingerprints
po
from the
pobraniu
organ keys and
odcisków
sending them to
palców
headquarters,
z klawiszy
we got a call
organów
from
i
Warsaw with
przesłaniu ich do
categorical
centrali,
instructions.
Otrzymaliśmy telefon z Warszawy z kategorycznymi instrukcjami.
That's when you
Wtedy
called me.
zadzwonił pan do mnie.
Yeah,
Tak.
do you care to elaborate,
Chciałby mi
detective?
pan coś powiedzieć, detektywie?
I'm afraid not.
Obaj
both
musimy
have to follow
zastosować się do
instructions.
instrukcji.
Understood.
Rozumiem.
In that case, I'm handing
W
over the
takim
current
razie
case files for
przekazuję
all four of
panu
them.
obecny stan
You already
akt
have my phone
całej
number.
czwórki. Mój numer telefonu już pan zna.
Thanks,
Dziękuję, komisarzu.
Commissioner.
Proszę
Please continue your own
kontynuować
investigation
śledztwo.
and share anything
podzielić
significant
się,
I
gdy
find.
trafię na coś istotnego.
I'll call you when we
Zadzwonię
establish
do pana,
contact with
kiedy
Elin.
nawiążemy kontakt z Eleną.
Droga
The way back to the
powrotna na
stairs.
schody.
The investigative team didn't need me, so I decided to head back downstairs and contact headquarters. I was curious whose fingerprints had provoked such a violent reaction.
Sprowokowały tak gwałtowną reakcję.
Nobody's gonna hear me down here. Ernest, did you make it there? Hey,
Cześć, cześć.
Chris.
Jestem po
I
wstępnym
just finished the
wywiadzie.
initial interview.
O co chodzi z tymi
What's the
odciskami?
deal with those prints? You won't believe this. Subject 17. SH. Heh,
To niemożliwe.
that's impossible. I'm serious. 17. Don't ask how it's possible. You're the one who needs to find the answer. Chris, do you guys have anything else? Nothing for now, just that. Did you get the files from Grad? Yeah, I got them on me. Good, update the channel on everything you find. There's a museum in the former monastery, find a curator, Jack of Forshire. He'll set up a room for you during the investigation, thanks. There's one more thing. That kid who was shot, they pulled a lugger bullet out of him. Do you realize what that might mean combined with subject 17?
sprawę, co to może oznaczać w połączeniu z 17.
I know, be extremely careful, you're responsible for those people. I'll try to organize backup if problems show up, but you know how it is. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Bye, I'm in touch. Subject 17, the code name assigned to Obersturmführer Lazarus from the Reichsockelteckraft, the Reichsockult Forces, a secret unit reporting directly to Himmler.
Tajnej jednostki podległej bezpośrednio Himmlerowi.
A mortal enemy of Department XX. Their capabilities before the war were far more powerful than ours. Lazarus eliminated the commander of our expedition to Lapland. We suspect he was involved in Dr. Drucky's disappearance, but the trails for both of them broke off right here in Owinska in 1939.
1939.
Interesting. Okay, the plot thickens. Well, I think I'm going to end my gameplay here for now. But I would definitely recommend you guys check this one out. It is an amazing game. It definitely answers some questions from the previous entry. I do, however, wish that they had English voice acting for this one as they did for the first. But I also get that you have a budget to work with, and this is the best they could do for now. Still, overall not bad. It is, the subtitles line up nicely. You are still fully engaged with the story. I am also excited to see that the storyline for this game is a bit longer than the previous entry, and I feel they did a good job on this one, for what it's worth. It is really, really good. There are some elements that are still reminiscent of the first game, but I have to say that the style where you basically read a story and do short interactions like this does fit well with the genre. Yeah, that's my 2 cents. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you liked the video, please hit that like button, and if you have not yet, hit the subscribe button, as you guys are, as always, what makes this worth it. Till next time.